understanding cross-references and tips for working with them in Word. When referring to a numbered clause or section within your document, you should always insert a proper cross-reference rather than manually typing in the number of the heading or paragraph. These cross-references automatically update, so if another numbered option is added above, a new paragraph, something's deleted, the reference will update for you automatically. So this can save you a lot of time, especially in a long document where you would have to go through and manually find all the references, amend them, and it's obviously going to help you minimize error as well. Another benefit is that you can use these to navigate around your documents quickly. Let's have a look at the overall process for inserting a cross-reference. Let's say we're going to refer to section and I want it to 5.2A2. So my cursor's flashing at me where I wish to insert the reference. I'm going to change to the References tab and then click on the Cross-Reference button. Now this window will pop up for you. You can move it around to wherever is useful for you at the time. It defaults to reference type numbered item. We'll leave it on that. And then for insert reference to, we want it to be on full context. Most of the time, this is the option you'll use. We'll talk about some of the other options soon. We'll leave it on insert as hyperlink. I'm going to check my cursor is flashing at me in the right spot. And I know I wanted it to 5.2A2, so it's this one. And then I can click on the Insert button, and I should see that my reference has gone into the document. If I were to click on it, it will now show the grey field shading. Let's close the cross-reference window for now, and let's say we have added another heading here. And let's say here there has been another option, Shift tab, will let you go back a level. So this is a completely different reference now. There's lots of ways to update cross-references in your document. One way is to print preview and return. So you can either go to the File tab and then print, or I can press Ctrl-P on my keyboard and then press the Escape key to return, or you can use that arrow at the top. And we'll see here, my reference has updated for me. Let's add an entire new section. So again, this has now changed to 6. Another way of updating the references is to press Ctrl-A, which is highlight all, and then press the F9 key. So that's in the row of keys at the top. On a laptop, you may actually have to press and hold the FN function key before pressing F9. Now, this one, because we've highlighted everything, will update all cross-references, any fields, and it will update the table of contents if it's present. If ever it asks you, you should always update entire table. And now that reference is updated for us again. Let's have a look at inserting another reference. So remember that was References tab and then the Cross-Reference button. If this is something you know that you're going to use all the time, you can actually right-click on this button or any button and add to the Quick Access toolbar or the QUAT. And then you can get to it from up here easily. Notice that it's remembered the last option we had here, full context. If you were to close Word completely and open it again, it will go back to the default, just plain paragraph number, so just be wary of that. Let's say we wanted to add in a really long reference. We can do that too. As per section, and maybe click back in the main area. We wanted to say that one. It's on full context, and I'll click on Insert. And there's my reference. Again, let's say this has changed. Maybe this has been deleted, no longer required. Another way to update this one specifically, you can actually right-click and update field, or you can left-click and press that F9 key. And that's updated for us as well. Let's have a look at some of the other options here. Maybe we want refer to paragraph, and we just want it to be. We don't want the full context. I don't want 7b at the moment. I just want b. So I might change that to no context. I find my 7b. I know I was clicked in the right spot, and I can click on insert. Something else I can do here if I wish, we'll just get rid of that one. There's a little include above below here. So if I've done that, you'll see that it puts the B above, or if it had moved and you were referring to something below, it would say below. So that can be quite useful. Just remember to turn that off again so it doesn't start going into all of your cross-references. As you can see, I can also leave this cross-reference window open. I don't have to close it and go back every time. I can just use it as needed and go back to my document. Let's put another example here. I might want to say, see section, and let's say I want to refer to section 10. So no context won't matter in this case because we don't have A's and I's. So I'll insert that one, but maybe I want to put the contents of the heading in there. I can actually change it to paragraph text. I'm on the correct reference, click on insert, and that's put that paragraph text in there for me. And I'll close my bracket. I can even insert page numbers as well if I like. On page, I'm still on number 10, and I'm going to put the page number in there and insert. Let's say I want to go and look at this section for now. I have my sample here. It is, if that's page 4, this is on page 5, but let's say I needed to start on a new page. So I might want to insert a page break. It's a lot easier to leave blank lines that you don't want rather than put something in the wrong spot and then try to fix it later. So an easy way is to go to the Insert tab and then Page Break. If you want to see what's going on, you can actually turn on from the Home tab your paragraph marks or your formatting marks. You don't have to work with these on all the time, but it can be quite useful in cases like this. I'll delete those extra lines. This is now changed. Maybe I've removed the word example as well. I want to see these references update. So I'll turn that off for now. I'm going to do Control A, highlight all. And what's good when you do this, you can actually see all of your cross-references too, and then press the F9 key for update. Remember, on a laptop, it may need to be FN function key first and then F9. And now it has fixed the wording for my heading and it's changed pages for me as well. Some tips for working with this window. It will remember the last one. I'm just going to put it back onto full context so we don't forget. Control Home keys on your keyboard jump you to the top. Control End goes to the end. If I know my reference is in section 6, I can click in here and just type in the number 6 and it will jump to that spot for me. I have to type it fairly quickly, but if I want 10, I can type 10 quickly and it will jump to 10 for me. If you have used proper styles within your document and you have a proper numbered schedule style that starts with the letter S, you could actually press the letter S and it will jump to it for you. If you had another schedule, if you press S again, it would jump to schedule 2. So that's another way. You can make this window longer if you like. You can even make it wider as well. So again, anytime, and certainly before you finalise a document, you should Control A and F9 and update entire table if it asks, just to make sure that everything is fully up to date. Another type of reference is to add in a reference to a bookmark. Now, in my document here, I have and appendices heading, I might want to refer to this, but because it doesn't have a proper number in front of it, it's not going to show up in my numbered items. So I can set a bookmark for it. So I want to make sure I've highlighted just that text. You may wish to turn on those paragraph or formatting marks to make sure you don't have any other symbols. Then from the Insert tab, I can go to Bookmark, give it a logical name. If you needed to add in additional words, you can't put a space, maybe just put an extra capital for the word, click on Add, and that's done. Now within this cross-reference window, actually first we'll go click where we want to insert our reference first. Let's put it back here. So instead of writing the word appendices, we can now insert a reference to it. So reference type is a bookmark. It's on bookmarks text. There's my appendices and I can click insert. Right, and now it is a proper cross-reference to that section. Again, I find it handy to change back to numbered item. Again, we don't want page number most of the time. We want paragraph number full context. We'll close that again for now. As I mentioned earlier, another benefit of these cross-references, besides the fact they automatically update for you, is the ability to navigate around the document quickly. So let's say I want to go here. Sometimes you have to click twice, but I can hold down the Control key and left click the mouse button and we'll jump to here. So if I wanted to go to appendices, I could Control and then left click and it will jump to that spot in the document. Now a quick way to go back is to press the Alt key and then the left arrow key. Now I have a lovely little diamond. I don't know why it's inserting them while I'm making these videos. I'm just going to press Control Z, which is undo. You won't get lovely diamonds. Let's have another look. If I want to jump to, say, section 10, I could use that because I made it a proper cross-reference. I can Control and click, and it jumps me to that spot. Alt plus left arrow key, and I can go back. So this is really handy when you are finalizing your document and you want to check that you actually have all your references linking to the correct spots and it is the section you intended. You should be doing this. Something else that hopefully works within your document, if you press that F11 key, it will jump through all the references plus any other fields that are there, or the Shift plus F11 keys go back to the previous reference. When I do that Control A highlight all, it lets me see any cross-references that are in my document. But normally I have to actually click on them to see the reference. If you want to be able to see all the references automatically, you can actually set the field shading to always within the Word options. I'll link to another video that shows you how to do this at the end as well as within the description. I hope this has given you a better understanding of how cross-references work in Word. Please like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe to our Help Me Format YouTube channel to discover more tips and tricks.